This is a finished solar panels to inverter wiring diagram. In the next few minutes, every line between the battery and that inverter will make sense. This is how to wire solar panels to inverter the beginner-safe way. And it starts with a mistake almost everyone makes. They run the inverter straight to the panels. Let's fix that properly. First, where does the inverter actually sit? In an off-grid system, the parts always fall in the same order. Solar panels, a charge controller, a battery bank, then the inverter, and finally your AC loads. Notice the inverter is near the end of that chain, right after the battery, not up at the panels. The panels feed the charge controller. The controller keeps the battery charged, and the inverter draws from that battery to make AC. This whole video zooms in on one link, the battery to the inverter. Get that link right, and the rest of the system just works. Quick note before we wire anything. The editor on screen is completely free. It runs in your browser, and it is the first link in the description. Open the exact solar diagram there and follow along. No install, no sign up. Right, the big one. Here is the rule that saves inverters. Wire the inverter to the battery, never straight to the solar panels. Why? 2 reasons, and both matter. First, the inverter needs stable DC. A battery bank sits at a rock-steady voltage, 12, 24, or 48 volts. Solar panels don't. Their output sags the moment a cloud rolls over, and it swings all day as the sun moves. Second, surge current. When a fridge compressor or a pump starts, the inverter pulls a huge burst of current for a split second. A battery can dump that surge instantly. A solar panel simply can't. It just browns out. So the inverter feeds off the battery. The panels feed the battery through the controller, and everyone stays happy. Now, the connection itself, because this is the one that bites people. An inverter pulls big amps. A 2,000-watt inverter on a 12-volt battery can draw well over 150 amps. That is enormous. So 3 things sit between the battery and the inverter. 1. Thick DC cable, size to that current. Undersized cable runs hot and drops voltage. 2. A DC fuse or breaker at the battery's positive terminal, rated for the inverter. It blows before the cable ever catches fire. 3. A disconnect switch, so you can cut the inverter off the battery safely for any work. Thick cable. Correct fuse. A disconnect. Skip none of them. Let's size the inverter quickly. 2 numbers matter. Continuous watts, what it can run all day, and surge watts, the brief spike it can handle when a motor kicks in. Add up everything that runs at once. That sets your continuous rating. Then check your biggest motor load, because its startup surge can be 2 or 3 times its running watts. Your inverter's surge number has to cover that spike. A fridge that runs at 200 watts might surge past 600 for a heartbeat. Undersize it, and the inverter trips exactly when you need it. Let's build the chain in the free editor so you can watch it come together. I'll drop a solar panel on the left, the source, then a breaker to guard the line, the inverter in the middle, turning DC into AC, a light fixture on the right, standing in for our AC load, and a ground along the bottom rail. Every symbol snaps to the grid, evenly spaced so nothing lands crooked. Source on the left, load on the right, the same left to right story. 3 finishing touches before you wire it. First, grounding. Bond the inverter's metal chassis to your system ground, so a fault has a safe path to take, not through you. Second, the waveform. Inverters come in 2 flavors. Modified sine is cheaper and fine for simple resistive loads. Pure-sine is cleaner, and it is the safe choice for electronics, motors, and anything sensitive. When in doubt, pick pure-sine. Third, the AC output. The inverter's AC side feeds a load panel or a transfer switch, never straight back into the grid without proper gear. From there, your circuits branch out to the loads. Back in the editor, we wire it up, right angles only. From the panel, into the breaker. Out of the breaker, into the inverter's DC input. Out of the inverter's AC side, across to the load. Then the return runs along the bottom, back to ground, closing the loop. Watch each wire turn at a clean corner on its own. Source, through the breaker, into the inverter, out to the load, and home again. One honest word on safety. Big DC currents are genuinely dangerous. A dead short at the battery can vaporize a wrench. So treat the battery to inverter run with real respect. This video explains the diagram, so you understand how the pieces fit. For a real installation, size everything to your local code and have a qualified installer sign it off. Here is the finished diagram once more: battery, inverter, and load, every line now making sense. So that is how to wire solar panels to inverter without the guesswork. The inverter connects to the battery, never straight to the panels. Thick DC cable, a fuse, and a disconnect between them. Size it for continuous and surge watts. Ground the chassis and choose pure-sine for anything sensitive. The editor is free at circuitdiagrammaker.app. Open the solar diagram, wire the inverter yourself, and export a clean PNG. If this made the inverter finally click, subscribe. More wiring tutorials are on the way. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.